Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Good day, all. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Big E. King, how are you, my friend?
Hola, Miguel. Muy bien.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Justin Bieber
Despacito
on the mind. Sorry.
Boy, that's embarrassing.
It's wormed its way in.
Yeah.
You know?
It happens.
You hear it once or twice on the stupid 95.5 or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's in.
It gets in there and it won't leave.
Won't leave.
That's hard to do with a song that's primarily in Spanish.
That's how we do it down in Puerto Rico. Yeah, it is.
Desperito.
I'm not even going to attempt, as all these little teeny boppers are doing, I'm sure, sitting in their bedrooms right now trying to attempt to memorize that song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to listen and enjoy it, not going to try to sing along.
Remember when David Lee Roth put out his album where his face is all painted?
Yeah, it looked like a native or something.
Eat 'em and Smile.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. He did that same album and released it completely in Spanish.
Really?
Called Sonrisa Salvage or something like that. And I knew most of the lyrics
Oh,
in
my
Spanish.
God.
Like, I played it, and it was like the exact music, but
Yeah.
just David singing it in all Spanish. Yeah.
Love to hear the isolated mic of David Lee Roth on that one, fumbling through a Spanish verse.
Dude, do you have a picture? Is that it, E?
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of the Spanish?
God, who can forget that
Oh,
album cover, though?
That's the actual Eat 'em and Smile.
Yeah.
There's one. Type in David Lee. I thought it was like Sonrisa Salvage or something like that. Like I had it on cassette. But if you can find that one, E.
Well, it's a bold move when any artist goes for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of David Lee Roth, we're going to actually talk to his former manager
Noel.
next week, Noel Monk. He was the first, well, not the very first, but he came in early in the late 70s and was their manager all the way through 1984.
Sweet.
And that tour. So we're going to talk to him next week. He's got some great stories, was there for all the mayhem. You know, I was thinking a lot yesterday, Jay, and I'm not going to demand an apology, but I feel like I'm owed sort of an apology. I feel like
In what way, Mike?
I feel like I came under attack yesterday, and I feel like it was a baseless charge. It has to do with Jonathan Depp and Samantha.
Yeah.
And there was some underlying tones of sexism that you were implying. Like I had different thoughts because Jonathan Depp versus Alyssa Milano. And I felt like the more I thought about it, I thought a lot about it yesterday. You were basically saying
No. This is what with Samantha, you were like, how can you be so stupid? Of course you're going to be defrauded. All these management companies defraud you. And then you jump on the Jonathan story and you're like, Jonathan, you weren't defrauded. Why would they defraud you? That's a great company.
My point with Samantha, Jonathan, Samantha was, she thought she was rich. And I was like, how do you not have any clue that you're broke or not? That was why I was like, well, fuck, they probably were taking her money. And she thinks she's a millionaire. She's turning down job offers because her financial people, you know, but Jonathan Depp, you know, those guys were desperately trying to tell him, dude, you're broke. You're broke. And so that's why I believed his management guys. They were like, dude, they were warning him for years.
Yeah, no, but the claim was made during the Samantha story that all these guys just rip you off. So how can you be so stupid not to be on top of this?
Well,
and my thing was, dude, you interact in ways, you contract with people all day long, and at some point you have to just trust that the person you're contracting with is going to do what they said.
Yeah.
Of course, there's those instances where you are defrauded, and that's awful.
Yeah.
But dude, I mean, you were making the point with the Samantha story that you can't trust anybody, and you don't trust anybody, and therefore you stay on top of things.
That's true, but I'm full of shit all the time and hypocritical. And so if you're dumb enough to believe what I'm saying, that's on you.
No, that's okay. I don't know why you have to come back today and try to clean it up.
Well, I felt like I was under attack yesterday, and it was like, no, those are different stories and different situations and
so
facts.
you had a day to think about it.
Yeah, I know.
Did you go back and listen?
Dude, it was a great example of one of those where when you get into an argument on the street with someone and you walk away and it's like, fuck, I should have said that.
Yeah. And then you jump on Facebook and you type it all out. And
This is- yeah.
backspace, delete, retype that, rephrase it. No,
Yeah.
delete that one. Okay, now it's perfect.
Yeah.
Now my response is awesome. Now I'll let it fly.
Yeah. How dare you look at my titties when I'm jogging out here, sir?
So that's what you did, Mike. You didn't sleep a wink last night
Yeah.
thinking about Samantha.
Samantha.
Flipping around like a guppy.
I know, flip-flopping.
Well, I wasn't flip-flopping because of my pillow. I was fine.
Good.
But yeah, dude, it
Bothered you.
It did because
Yeah.
I felt like you were making accusations.
No,
and
I
like-
stand by what I said. I just reiterated it, and it's
Well.
exact.
Well,
You got nowhere with this. Good try.
nice try. I forgive you though. I understand how you are, and you can't lose ever. It's just
Do you want to try to go back on the whole miscarriage thing too and redo that bit? Or
you know what? The miscarriage thing was. I actually felt bad about
one of the
that.
more awkward things that
Yeah.
has ever been discussed on these airwaves.
Yeah. You know what? I felt bad about that because here's the decision I run into, and this happens a lot. Where we'll be talking about something off the air, and then it's like we'll stop each other and go, "Stop! You know, let's talk about that on the air." And for whatever reason, it's hard to like reenact that conversation. And so I was thinking about that, and I was like, "Should I tell Jay about this beforehand?" And because
I would
actually,
have cautioned pretty hard not to bring that up on the air had you.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
but at least it wouldn't have stunned you. Like, dude, the look on your face was like,
Well,
okay, it got really serious.
it struck me how flippant you were about it. Not that you
Yeah.
brought it up, I guess, but that you were like joking about it. So that
Yeah.
was what was kind of like, dude,
Yeah.
where do you want me to go with this?
Well, what we do, half of it depends on like you're going based on someone's reaction to things, and then you play off each other. It's what we call in the business chemistry.
Got it.
And so my thought was, oh, I'm going to lay this out here, and Jay's going to react and call me a monster, whatever he's going to do, and then I'll play off that, and we'll just go. And it wasn't fair to do to you because with such a heavy topic, and so I felt bad about it. And this has happened before, and it either dies or lives the conversation based on reactions in the room. And the one that comes to my mind right now is, remember the story we did about the baby that died in that Cincinnati hospital, and they lost the dead baby?
Sure.
And then the family wanted it back. Well, E starts laughing in the background. If you listen to that bit, E starts laughing at the details of that. And in an instant, and this was a different time in our story here. Like we were pretty on edge with each other, and tensions were strong. And Jay just goes, "What the hell's so funny?" And he was dead fucking serious. And my thought was, oh shit. Okay, we went too far with this. Jay is not interested in this dead baby story. He's not going to find humor in this. And E saved that bit. E's reaction, because I would have probably backed off at that point, like, I don't push this. And E went, what, did some guy like walk in and not see a label on it and go, well, guess we don't need this? And it lightened the room enough that Jay chuckled, and then we got on with that. And it was a funny thing. But that could have gone a totally other way.
So you were anticipating a chuckle over Beth's miscarriage. Oh, my.
I don't know what
Oh,
I was
Mike.
anticipating, but I didn't want to try to recreate. That was my dilemma. Do I try to recreate that story on the air, or do I just spring it on him?
Well, you went for it.
Yeah, I did. I can't all be home runs.
Well, I would say
Sometimes
that you
you're
could have
gonna
told
trip
the
on
story
your way to first base.
I think you could have told the story without compromising the beginning part. We were like in the middle of a story, and then you said, I was almost a father.
Check this
And-
out.
and
We
then
had a
we all-
miscarriage over the
we
weekend.
all expected, I expected like
Mike.
you spur, you jizzed onto something, and it's like, whatever. I don't know, something crazy, and then you're like, yeah, Beth had a miscarriage. It was like in the middle of a story.
Spring the brakes on.
Well, to me,
know.
too. I mean, I know a lot of people that happens to a lot of people, and that's a really devastating thing, you know? And to have it so close and personal and happening and laughing about it, like, it's one thing to laugh about somebody in Dayton, Ohio or whatever with a dead baby, right?
Right, sure.
Or somebody in Oregon whose baby gets, free-throwed off a bridge, you know? It just seems not so personal.
Yeah.
And you can kind of, like, try to present the story and talk it through, but, dude, it was you. And to me, like, that's like my flesh and blood, and like, if that happened to Gab, I definitely wouldn't have presented it that way.
Obviously, you value human life where I don't really, and the fact is, Beth and I had days to play with that and kind of like joke about it. Like and like I said, I totally understand if it was somewhere we were like trying to have a kid, and then it was like, hey man, we had a miscarriage. Like, dude, my sister's gone through that. I get it. It's really really tough. But this was just like, oh my God, you won't believe what happened today at work. And so it was just.
Still,
By the
man,
way,
it didn't seem like that
even
big a
you're not
deal.
trying to have a kid. I mean, I don't know. To me, that would strike anybody as oh
Yeah.
shit, like,
Yeah.
not something
Well,
to joke
I'm
Well,
more
about.
now
Mike-
it is. Now you're making me feel guilty about it.
I'm more
I
on
didn't-
your
never
side,
thought
Mike.
of
You're
it as
fine.
my flesh and blood.
You're fine. It doesn't matter.
It was more like my blood with a little bit of tissue and stuff, though. It wasn't really.
I'm more concerned that you're knocking off the what was it? The I forget the name of the movie. What's the Howard Stern movie called?
Private Parts?
Private Parts. That was a big scene in Private Parts where his girlfriend gets pissed at him because he goes on the air next day after a
Oh, this is a
miscarriage.
ripoff of a Howard Stern bit? My God, we're in the middle of a fucking ripped-off
Doing
bit?
it 20 years later.
That's right. I hadn't even.
Shit, Mike.
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that was a big thing in Howard's. And Howard's argument was, I believe, his wife had a miscarriage, and then they had joked about it, right?
They
Weren't
joked privately about it, and then she just.
And so he thought it was okay to go
So
on
it's
the
like
air.
the exact same
it's
fucking
almost
thing.
the exact
Sort of,
same
yeah.
thing.
Wow.
No, I got emails from people, and one in particular I remember somebody said, well, how do you then go into the conversation where Mike has this outrage about a matador and killing bulls,
Yeah.
and how do I not bring it back to, fuck you, dude, you're worried about a bull dying, but you're not worried about a human life. I mean,
I don't think that's
dude,
Yeah.
I am pro-life, but when your buddy here presents you with the fact that his girlfriend had a miscarriage and he's laughing about it and joking about it, like, I don't think you're really ripe to be transitioned to the other side at that point. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't think like
Well-
a theological kind of debate is
Yeah.
at hand at that point.
Yeah, well, like again, dude, I'm hypocritical as shit, and so, my
No,
my
you like
story can
bulls more
change.
than humans.
I do, and I come back to that because I feel like
If it was a puppy, would you be upset?
if a yes, because I
If-
feel like
if Beth
humans are
miscarried a puppy.
assholes. If yeah, I would be upset about
And
that.
she would too, wouldn't she?
Yeah, she would. She would. I feel like
Oh.
humans are assholes by nature. I don't like humans' behavior. I don't like the way we treat each other. I don't like how selfish we are and how shitty we are. And our nature is just sort of rotten. It's
Yeah,
it's
there's
just
an
a
innocence
rotten.
to animals. I
Yes.
understand that, but at the same
that's-
time,
that's
like
my
how do
problem.
you as a human have that feeling about an animal, but you can't about your own flesh and blood?
Yeah.
I don't,
Well, dude, humor is a defense mechanism for people. That's why you react that way. It's like
yeah, but that wasn't. You say as a defense mechanism. You weren't presented with that, and you used it defensively. You affirmatively threw that out there. You
Yeah.
didn't have to.
I know. And why are you bringing it up now to make me feel bad?
No, who brought? I don't.
You
I don't know how
brought it
this
up.
got
I didn't
brought
bring
up.
this up. I wasn't
Oh
going to
yeah,
talk
you,
about this again.
No, you were trying to rewrite history on the Samantha story, and
No,
I
I
asked you if
wasn't.
you wanted to rewrite history on this one. I guess you don't.
Dude, what else can I do? I didn't think it through properly. I didn't think of it as you did, and I sprung it on you, and I was basically apologizing for that, saying it wasn't fair to do to you guys. Both of your reactions spoke volumes in that moment, but I can't take it back. It happened.
Yeah, no,
it happened, and so
It's like nobody-
you can hold it against me, and I know you love doing that. I've
No,
never
no,
been able to
Mike.
live down one fucking fisting joke in a classroom of second graders, and I'll never hear the end of that one either.
Highly
Just put it on my list of inappropriate shit.
Yeah. All right, miscarriage story. We owe Zot a read.
Yeah, always.
Zot Ford and Holly makes buying and leasing your next new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV incredibly fun and easy. Yes, they have a foosball table. Yes, they have fresh movie-style popcorn. And, of course, they have the hottest sales staff in Oakland County. Plus, if you accidentally lease your current vehicle from another dealership, Zot Ford will happily return that vehicle for you. No need to deal with that old boring-ass dealership. Zot Ford has you handled. Peep their irresistible deals and massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Did you see Bastille Day going on in Paris?
Yeah,
and,
sure.
quite a little party over there. And Macron, is that how you say his name? The president over there?
I'm unsure.
Yeah, I can't remember, but whatever. He invited Trump out there to celebrate Bastille Day, and Trump was like, "I accept. I'll be there." And so he flew out with Melania and landed. And they've got a big parade and all this shit. And
Now I got you.
but that has piqued people's interest because
With a Q.
What's that?
With a Q.
With a Q. Oh, absolutely. Because when Trump was on the campaign trail, his big thing was terrorism and
Yeah.
keeping America safe and the wall.
And this is the anniversary of the Paris attack, is it? Was that Bastille Day?
It might have
Last
been.
year? Okay.
Yeah, they terrorists love dates, so it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
What is that? Terrorists really do like the idea that it's on a holiday or something, and I don't think it's always just unless
The
it's
symbolism. you know.
right.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I know.
They're all about sending messages, right?
But
yeah.
it'd be
And
easier to
all
get
of them are. North Korea did the same thing. Waited till July 4th to do the thing and said, happy birth of your nation.
I just
A
think
lot
it'd
of
be
what they're doing
easier.
is psychological, so
Yeah.
that's part of the message. They're
But see,
saying.
I think it'd be easier for one, other times of the year because there wouldn't be as high alert. We start to get high alert now around holidays, and two, psychologically, if you're going that point, man, if you just start doing like, oh shit, they're just gonna do it on a random
Just
Thursday,
random, man.
then
Yeah.
it would be psychological. Well, whatever, who cares?
So anytime Trump was on the trail, he focused a lot on Europe and the terrorist attacks there. And anytime he talked about Paris, he would tell this story about his buddy that used to go to Paris all the time, and
Right.
and you know he loved Paris. He would go every summer, and I'd say, Jim, how's Paris? And he would say, Paris.
Jim, just
yeah.
as unnamed other than Jim, no last name.
Yeah. So you just throw this friend Jim out there, and people, you know, here's the, I guess the most famous one, and I believe, is this the one that happened at?
Was he consistent with this though? Every time he'd mention Jim, quote unquote,
He would always
It
mention his
wasn't
friend
like
Jim.
Charlie the next time.
No, it was always his friend Jim.
Okay, so maybe Jim exists, right?
Sure. Yeah. So
Take
here-
a look at Nice and Paris. I have a
Paris.
friend. He's a very, very substantial guy.
Sure he is.
He even exists.
It looks like he's making it up on the spot, doesn't it? He's
Very
a
substantial.
very substantial guy. What
He
does
has
that
a
even
body. He's flesh. He's blood. Bones.
He's-
It all.
Full human across the board. Great guy.
Substantial.
The best. Got the best education. Uses the best words. What happened, E?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, E.
Our producer.
This could not be played. It played earlier.
Oh, that's a lie because it was being played a moment ago. We'll see if you can find another one.
Everything was going so swimmingly.
Anyway, so now with all this attention on Paris and him, people are recalling Jim, and so they're starting to wonder if Jim's real.
Yeah.
They're doubting the existence of Jim. And so now they've asked the White House for comment, like, can you give us any more information on Jim that goes to Paris every year? And they haven't commented back yet, and they're kind of ignoring this whole Jim
It's
thing.
clearly just a Kafifi story, right? It's just a Kafifi issue where they're trying to needle him, and
Yeah. Or it
because there's
feels
not.
like
Who cares, right? Who cares if Jim really exists?
Yeah.
We're spending time on this.
yeah, it's funny to me though the idea of him calling like People magazine, "Hi, this is Steve.
That's
I'm
right,
a
I
dear
forgot.
friend of Donald Trump.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
All the chicks love him. Madonna wanted to go out with him, and it's
Very substantial size hands.
yeah, and it's just so obviously Donald Trump, and he's so insecure that he's got to deal with, you know, that
Yeah.
this is how he reacts to it. And so when this, like, people wondering like who's Jim, you would think you go, oh, that's Jim Johnson. He's a big business, you know, he's a tycoon friend of Donald's, or
It's in France all the time.
yeah, he would go to France every year.
Sorry.
He should be. Thank you.
That was 4 years, 4 or 5 years has it gone there. He wouldn't miss it for anything.
Does it start at the beginning?
Now he
It's
doesn't
in the
even
middle
think in
of a
terms
fucking
of going
thing.
there. And Paris. I have a friend. He's a very, very substantial guy. He loves the City of Lights. He loves Paris.
Yeah.
For years, every year during the summer, he would go to Paris. It was automatic with his wife and his family. I hadn't seen him in a while. And I said, Jim, let me ask you a question. How's Paris doing? Paris? I don't go there anymore. Paris is no longer Paris. That was 4 years, 4 or 5 years has it gone there. He wouldn't miss it for anything. Now he doesn't even think in terms of going there. Take a look at what's happening.
You know, so it is a non-thing. It's,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
dumb throwaway story, but it's just funny because my immediate thought is like 60-40, like 60% chance that there's no Jim.
Yeah, you could see that could just be his mechanism of bringing that subject up, and instead of
Yeah.
saying something personal, like, you know, I don't go to Paris anymore because I'm struck by how it's Jim.
Yeah.
And so it's somebody else reporting back to him who was once in love with the City of Lights, and now he can't stand it.
And you got to think of where Donald Trump comes from, too. Like, here's a guy who's running this corporation. He's the boss. He's the guy. Like, he's probably holding court everywhere he goes, every dinner. And I could totally see him just at dinner going, oh, you wouldn't believe it. My friend Jim used to go there all the time. And who's going to call his bullshit on it? Who's going to stand up and go, by the way, Donald, who's this Jim guy
Yeah.
you're talking about? But now he's got like a full-time press corps that's like
chasing everything down,
chasing everything and looking for inconsistencies
I wonder,
anywhere they can.
I wonder if Jim exists in other contexts. In other words, could they find video of him talking about Jim doing X and Y and Z in addition to going to Paris every year?
Yeah.
Is Jim just his thing, just his crutch, just his mechanism to talk about issues?
Yeah, but he could easily.
That'd be awesome if it was.
Did you hear too? He gave Jim a wife and kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
beautiful family,
beautiful, and they better be beautiful. It's just so dumb, but I don't you think he could easily come out and go, look, Jim's a very private guy.
Yeah.
I've changed his name so that you fake news people don't bother him and his beautiful family.
His actual name is Bob. It's not even really Jim.
Yeah. You know, I just wanted to relay Jim's story. He does exist, but you don't know him, and he doesn't want to be outed. And then I mean, they'd probably still go hunting for like anything like close to a friend with Trump that goes to Paris every year.
Anyone named
his kid and family.
Jim Bob, James, Jimmy.
Oh, so funny, man. I bet Jim doesn't exist. That's my guess. What do you think? Do you think Jim exists?
60-40, I'd say probably doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
That's my guess. What did he call him? He's a very substantial man.
What does that mean?
It means a man of wealth.
I know, but I mean, it's like
he puts so much into wealth, like
of course.
wealth, like not even taking into account. Like there are people out there that just money's not the end all be all, and they can be tremendously brilliant people that just aren't chasing $1 billion. And it's like, you know, I want this. We want the richest guy running the blah 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 department.
Yeah,
I don't want a poor guy doing that. Remember when he said that?
Absolutely.
It's like,
he was explaining why he has so many Goldman Sachs people on his staff. Yeah.
I want the best.
So, Mike, we're good in terms of electricity. Everything's back on, good to go. I think soon after yesterday's show, it all popped back on.
It did.
Okay.
And I was able to flip it all back myself.
Very good.
Very, very nervous about it.
You reversed it all. You
did.
reversed the process.
Yeah.
Good.
I got a little nervous when I had to flip the main back. I was just like, E was standing there with like.
I was telling him, just do it, dude.
Because you were afraid it was gonna like blow your whole house. Yeah.
Like just send power back to the line and explode something. It'd be. Then you would come
but
back.
All
and
your
go,
breakers
dude,
were off.
You idiot! I told you. You had to make sure this was off first. What are you, retarded? I go, yeah.
Well, he did. You told me like when we had to turn off the generator and everything. He's just like talking about being nervous about it. I'm like,
dude, he was nervous to turn it on too.
Like,
he's just a nervous guy.
It's gotten worse, man, and I don't really know what to do with it.
What's wrong with you, man?
I don't
You should be
know.
confident. You're a very able, capable guy.
Yeah, dude, I'm having the hardest time, and maybe some psychiatrist out there can fill me in. But dude, I'm having trouble like deciding on where to go to eat.
Oh my!
You know what I mean? Like
no.
I'm just like, you know what, Beth, you pick it. She's like, no, you pick dinner, and I'm like, let's just stay in. I don't know where to go. I don't know, and so I don't know why that is, dude. I don't know why.
Somebody.
Yeah, I probably should because it's happening a lot, and it's things like that. Like, dude, there's no reason. It's like, yeah, the main's off, turn all the fucking breakers off, and then unplug it, turn them back on.
But
like
you were sweating it.
But I was honestly like nervous. Like, there's going to be some dumb thing that I messed up, and then it's going to screw something up.
You're right to measure twice, cut once.
Yeah,
that's a good policy.
Yeah,
but I think sometimes you just gotta fucking.
You just gotta fucking cut it, man.
Do it sometime.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you don't have to measure 10 times, cut once.
I mean, the alternative is either just don't turn it back on, or I guess you could have just kept putting gas into the generator.
No, so that's great. However, when I came in today, distinct sewage smell upstairs.
For crying out loud, where?
Like by your, well, did you just shit in there? Maybe.
No.
Did you shit in the bathroom this morning?
I have not. I have not in a few days.
It seemed to be coming out of your powder room there on the main floor.
Yeah. You haven't shit in a few days? Is that
no here? I mean, I haven't. I've shit. I took a nice one at home yesterday. I don't know. I don't. In my mind,
your bowels are moving.
Like in my mind, I would definitely rather not do it here, and you know that based on the fact of when I do it, how weird I am about it.
I don't think you're being truthful right now.
Okay.
Have you shit in the last couple days?
Yes, of course I have.
Here. I don't care if you shit at home.
No, the last 2 days I have not.
Are you sure?
I didn't today, and I didn't yesterday.
Or the day before.
No, I think I did the day before.
Because I know when you go up there, because you turn on the fan. It's a dead giveaway that you were in there, and that happened yesterday or the day before.
I think it was the day before is my point, which is not 2 days. I'm counting today, and I'm counting yesterday.
Okay.
Was there sufficient supplies in the bathroom when you were in there? Towels, soap, etc.
Sure.
Toilet paper?
Yeah, there is toilet paper in there.
Is there?
As far as soap, I don't know.
I don't know what to do with this.
E, did you wipe your ass when you shit in there? We believe that there's been some bathroom malfeasance in this house. We believe you have not been wiping your ass because the freaking toilet paper has been out for days.
Has it?
Yes. What are you asking me for? I don't go in there.
don't
You
fucking
do.
know.
You don't know.
I don't fucking.
E, answer the question. It's a
don't
direct
know.
question. Have you shit in this house and not wiped recently?
I guess maybe I have. I don't.
How do you guess maybe you have?
I don't know.
I take that as completely yes, for sure.
I don't know the answer.
E,
I don't know.
you had that rash. Remember, we saw the rash on his ass
Yes.
when you had the towel
Maybe I'll
going?
buy some toilet paper. Maybe I'll bring some toilet paper in on Sunday.
Has this
bought
become a
toilet-
thing again where you're not wiping?
And maybe what happened was it wasn't there, so I just didn't do it. I could see me not saying like, "Hey, you
Jay,
need toilet paper."
and the fact that you don't know, you're unsure. Jay, ask me if I wiped after I shit.
Did you wipe after you shit?
100% every single time from the
If it
time I was
wasn't there,
capable
if-
of wiping my ass. I have wiped my ass after shitting. Not one time in my life have I just shit, pulled up my pants, and walked out of the room. Never.
if it
I'm
wasn't
comfortable
there,
adopting that same answer.
if it wasn't there, then there's a chance I would have just walked away. Fuck. Now it makes me realize. Now I haven't gone the last 2 days. Now you're bringing it to my attention. I will bring some toilet paper.
I bought toilet paper.
Did you? Okay.
Yes. And so you're fully stocked up there, but I remember the fan going, and I remember you uncomfortably walking out, and I was like, wait a minute, there's not even toilet paper in there. So E either brought something in there to use, or he's shitting and not wiping again. And Jay, this is a disturbing trend because the other day was the anniversary of his toes.
Yeah.
Us finding out about his toes, and so the image popped up on my Facebook
Right.
thing, memories, and I reshared it, of course. Why wouldn't I? And people were horrified at his toes all over again. And then I brought it up to E, and he was like, "Dude, he had a weird reaction. I don't think he's been taking care of his toes again lately."
No, I had the problem was I had a week when I was gone that I didn't do anything to them, and they're very
So
sensitive.
you're still a year into this thing. You're still having to keep up with it like every day
Yes.
with the solution?
Yes.
It's a topical, right?
It's a top. Yes, it's.
When
it's,
is this going to clear up, man?
Well, no, they just look really shitty now. But like the
All right,
fungus.
bust them out.
No, I'm not. No, I don't have
Jesus.
to. I don't have to do
Jesus,
shit.
you
I'm not doing
cannot
it.
say they look really shitty now and then not expect us to
No, I'm not doing
demand
that.
to view them.
I don't
Just-
have to do anything.
E, come on. Let's just see where we are. We're a year in.
We get annual checkups.
Yeah.
Consider this your annual checkup with us.
Come on, man.
Come on, E.
Ugh, I don't.
Good boy.
Last time they were absolute monster toes.
Yeah, see this one.
Let's
I
see.
stubbed hardcore at the forest,
Oh,
and I need to take
The
care of.
stubbing
Stubbing.
thing. Yeah, this all happens because.
They're not.
Oh,
dude.
E! Jesus Christ!
No, they're not.
Wow, man.
Hold on.
They look less hot, though. I will say
No,
that.
this one, honestly, God, I subbed the fuck out of that.
Are you allowed to clip the toenails yet?
They're better than they were though, dude. They're still considerably better.
They're so
You
dark.
can tell though where I know, but
Green.
dude, honestly,
Let
God,
me see 'em.
I got multiple. What do you call those? Fucking bruises, not bruises, but not splinters.
Okay.
What's the word that would call it if you were like?
Bruises or splinters? Is there something in between bruises and splinters?
I cannot think of the fucking word. When I was walking around the forest for fucking 4 days, not what am I?
Splinters.
No,
Okay, whatever.
some
You got those.
like and it fucking really. I looked at them the other.
So you're
week
just
and I was-
walking around with Frodo feet the whole time? You didn't have them covered up.
I had them in my socks and shoes, but it rained.
How do you, in good conscience, wish someone happy forest with feet looking like that, man?
One of them, I'll give him this. One of them looks like the famous black and white cookie, like New York's black and white cookie. You know what I'm talking about? Can you pick it out? You're right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That one is the one I hit really hard somewhere throughout that week. And so
I
I'm
want to
trying-
know.
I've never met someone who stubs their toes so many times.
Yeah. Like what?
Yeah, what's on the side of that, man?
And then.
No, that's what I'm talking about. What is it? Like, what do you get when you get like
like what's
if
going?
you,
toe.
if you ran a lot?
I'll tell
I'm
you,
trying to think.
blister.
Blister. I got like literally like 4 blisters on my feet. Like on all
That's what
separate
that
toes.
is on the side of the third pig.
Yes, I literally got like 4 blisters last.
Because it
weekend
almost
from-
looks to me like the second pig tried to take out the third.
No, I swear.
Yeah, he
it was
tried to
so
shank
annoying,
him.
went
dude.
down.
Tried to shank him.
You
right
guys
there.
had seen me. You guys, by the time you guys saw me on Sunday, I was walking relatively normal again.
Yeah.
By the end of the electric forest, like I was literally walking, like I was like going like this.
E, is there some reason you didn't show us your other foot?
No, No.
Just
I'm not-
bust
I'm
out
not-
your other one real quick,
not-
just so we can have the checkup. I will say this, man. They look a lot less infected. You know, last time
There's unquestioned.
last time it was like they looked hot, like they
Yeah.
were gonna explode. Like you could put a pin in it and it just pop.
Here's the problem. Here's the thing. Like when I went to my last checkup, which was I believe 2 months ish ago, because I'm going again in August. At that point she told me that pretty much the fungus was gone.
That big toe, man. I don't think so. I think
No.
Work to
It
do.
takes a long time for a big toe to freaking regrow itself. It takes a very
growing
long
in
time.
really weird though. It's got like half a
She
moon
told me
cut
though. You
on
know
it
what though?
and-
She looked at them how those were and told me
She's
these are
happy with that.
She said that this is very good progress for how bad they were.
The bar.
I think next time you go in, she's gonna go, when did you fall off the wagon? She's gonna go, you have regressed so far.
You know what? I literally just bought new topical cream, a full new bottle. Yes, not yesterday.
Okay,
but
don't
the day
rub your
before.
eyes right now. You were just rubbing your toes. Now you're rubbing your eyes.
Yeah.
I don't want it
It'll be
spreading.
fine.
I don't want you to get Mike eye over here. You haven't
Mike's got
mentioned your eye, have
Mike's
you?
got a whole new set of problems.
We're a fucking mess
We
over
are
here.
a mess. We are a mess. Yesterday, I was talking. I was like, Jay, does my eye have something in it? And I was like lifting up. He's like, no. And I'm like, every time I blink, which is quite often, you don't realize how often you blink. I could just feel it. It wasn't painful, but it was just I could feel it. I was like, God, I get a speck of dust in there or something. And so, whatever. The day goes on, and then I wake up this morning, and my whole eyelid is swollen.
It's like you got jacked,
Yeah.
honestly.
I know.
Above and below the eye, pretty swollen.
Really? Below it too? Like it
Maybe
feels.
that's just your normal puffiness. So.
Maybe.
No, yeah, it's below too, dude.
Really? Yeah. So I don't know if there's something stuck in there or what.
I'd go
but-
get that checked out, man.
Yeah.
God. You
Yeah.
sons of bitches.
I know. Between his toe and my eye, it's not
Not to
looking good.
mention
in
your
there.
eye. Not to mention. I mean, no offense, but there you had the other thing with the cold recently. And
I know.
the tooth.
Yeah.
No,
I know, dude, we're falling apart. My eyes gave up and quit.
Inability to make a
recently.
decision.
I can't even pick a restaurant.
I told Mike too that I don't know if I just when I was house sitting with the Kennedys last weekend and I slept on their couch, and it's like as you get older, as you know, it's just like you used to do things at 19. My back's been hurting.
Oh, you're a 38-year-old man.
Yeah.
My lower back has been hurting a little bit the last few days.
Yeah.
Like not like terribly, but I've
Well,
never had back.
You're no
Is this
spring
the-
chicken.
Is this the first time we've had a trio of ailments at the same
The
time?
ivy,
The ivy, yeah.
the eye, and the toe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're a mess.
We are a disaster.
You know what's not a mess? The Hamlin Pub.
Yes.
And they support the Detroit Cast, so let's make it a point to support them. With locations in Rochester Hills, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 in Shelby Township, you know there's one near you. The Hamlin Pubs have great food, ice-cold drinks, tons of craft beers, TVs, games, and great entertainment. Come on by or book your reservation today at hamlinpubs.com. And don't forget, July 23rd, 1 p.m. at the 22 Mile and Hayes location, you can enter the hot dog eating contest and try to beat the Big E.
The Big E's going to be there.
The Big E's going to be there.
I hope there's people that don't know what the Detroit Cast is and think this is like something.
Yeah,
The Big E will be
the
there.
Big E is
They're
gonna
like at the
take him
restaurant.
down.
stomp in there.
There's like posters in the restaurant, and the people are like, "Who's this? The Big?" Because it's the Biggie.
The Big E.
By the way, I showed both of you guys my eye this morning, and Jay, your reaction was, "Hey, you probably got something in there. It looks, or a speck of dust or something."
A
And
piece of pollen or something.
E's immediate reaction was, "I bet it's a tumor of some sort." He thinks I've got a brain tumor. I was like, "Oh, wow, I hadn't thought of that, E, but yeah, maybe
Get the melon scoop out.
giant tumor."
You know, speaking of brain tumors, by the way, like remember like 10 years ago when we were all really starting to get into cell phones? And I remember, maybe it was even 15 at this point, but my mom, one of her biggest holdups about giving me a cell phone, because they didn't even have internet at that point, so you didn't have to worry about some of the stuff you have to, Jay, but was just flat out the reports that we were, by holding them to our ear, we were
Yeah.
all going to get brain tumors and shit.
Yeah.
And I always said,
Testicular, too.
yeah, that shit, because anywhere it was around.
Yeah.
So I've always wondered, like, was it true, not true, or did
they
they
just
they just
burying
pay
it?
the fuck off, and it's gonna
Lobbyists.
in 10 years, 20 years from now, we're all gonna have something? Because they
think
said
we
it was
would
like a
know.
guarantee. Remember those stories all the time?
Yeah, it was pretty dire.
People get mad at me. They're like, "Are you on speakerphone?" And I don't
Yes.
hold the phone up to my ear.
I rarely do either.
I always talk into it like that, and it's totally because of that. Like, I don't know, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
you're
where it
carrying it in
started.
your
Like
pocket still.
my old phone that with the antenna and holding it up to my ear, and it was like, what if there's some truth to that? That
Mm-hmm.
it's sending, probably harmless. But I've just gotten into that habit all these years, and
But it's just you never hear anything about that anymore. And it was like for a while that you would see reports on like
You're righty.
2020 every week.
it's probably like microwaves. There's just so little radiation,
Mm-hmm.
that it's just not harmful. But I don't know. Donnie Wahlberg is back. Did you know the New Kids on the Block are touring still?
I think I saw, a sign on the Palace marquee.
Isn't it with like
or something.
NSYNC too or something?
Are they?
Or
Sweet.
Backstreet Boys?
Hell yeah.
They've all done something together. Or
I
like
can't
either the
imagine
Backstreet-
NSYNC would.
maybe
Timberlake
the-
98 degrees.
Maybe those guys are because they were younger, but I think NSYNC and Backstreet Boys have done a thing together or something.
Probably.
I don't. NSYNC would surprise me just because you couldn't do it without
Oh,
Timberlake.
not
Oh,
NSYNC.
maybe that's
Yeah,
true.
I bet it's Backstreet Boys.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah,
Maybe you're right.
That I would believe. Anyway, Donnie Wahlberg was in Charlotte, and they're playing there, I believe, tonight.
Charlotte
Yes, and so he went into a Waffle House and
proceeded to get in a fight.
no, he didn't get into a fight.
Bang a waitress?
Nope, I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't think so. He ran up an $82.50 bill.
Oh, no. He pulled a Big E, didn't he?
No, actually, he left a $2,000 tip.
Good for Donnie.
Yeah,
That's nice.
I thought that was very cool. The only
Is
problem
he Jenny McCarthy's dude right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're married now.
Oh.
The only problem I have with this, because I love stories like that. I think if you make a substantial amount of money
Oh,
like
no.
that...
He tweeted it. Oh, he tweeted it. You can't do that.
I know, right?
Dude,
Like,
that wipes it out. That, negates the whole thing and turns it the other way.
Yeah.
That's awful.
That's worse than not tipping to me.
I agree, dude. That's worse than somebody tweeting like, dude gave me a $2 tip on $88.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
Say in the thing.
I didn't want to even
Look
bring
how
it up.
generous I
I
am.
felt so bad because I didn't know if people would go, "Hey, man, it's a $2,000 tip. Good for him." But I'm like, when I read he sent it out on Instagram with a picture of the receipt, saying, my mom worked as a waitress and my dad, worked as a blah blah
Donnie,
blah.
You just do that, and then if somebody wants to recognize you, they recognize you.
Yeah.
Oh, Don.
Dude, he actually
Donald.
wrote, my mom waited tables. My dad tended bars for years. So when I walk into a Waffle House and the staff treats me like a king, you better believe I treat them like queens. Thanks to the team at Waffle House. And then sent out a picture of him and the receipt.
Insert your likes here.
Yeah, insert your praise of me here.
Dude,
That's one of those where anybody else on the
cringy,
planet,
man. It's cringy.
anyone else on the planet can tweet that out. Even if Jenny McCarthy does it. And he says, Jen,
right,
hon,
right.
I need you to, set this out there and let people know what I did. But you're the only person who can't send that out into social media, right?
Oh, Donald.
Yeah, that's. I'd be interested in seeing like the comments on that and see if it's all just like, oh my God, amazing, or if there's a lot of people going, why are we hearing this from you, man?
Yeah, that's not how that works.
I mean, is there any circumstance when you can leave a giant tip and then yourself
Call attention
call
to it?
Yeah,
No. Sorry.
yeah. I don't think there is either.
Well, then, we both have forgotten who the Lion player was, but when he did that, didn't he then leave a tip somewhere later and be like, "See, guys, I can tip, haha," or
Roy
something
Williams.
like that, or
Either Roy or Calvin didn't tip a pizza guy.
Yeah,
Roy and or Calvin.
I think that might be the one acceptable case where you
like
could,
he was
you
kind of
could send
joking
that
about
out.
himself later, like.
Yeah, if you got blasted on social media for being a cheapskate or
Or if
whatever.
Big E posted one.
Yeah, it'd be identical. I mean, identical. Like if it'd be cool and okay if he went to the Palace bar sometime and left a $10 tip on a $10 order and took a picture of the receipt and himself. I
I've
think
learned my lesson.
Yep.
Jay was right.
Told you, I do tip good. Hey, last week when we were off, we had a series of murders take place. Not here. Over in I believe Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. Did you hear about that at all?
No.
Well, one of the bodies has been found, not alive. I guess there's this big farm out in Pennsylvania. Like this family spent like $5 million buying this farmland, and they found they dug like 12 and a half feet down underground with cadaver dogs and found the remains of one of the missing boys. And so they've announced that they've arrested this guy who's basically 20 years old, Cosmo DiNardo.
Cosmo.
Yeah, Cosmo DiNardo. Don't you think if you name your kid Cosmo DiNardo, he might just murder a bunch of people?
Yeah, you're asking for it.
Yeah. So yeah, on this farmland they found it, and it belongs to the family of this 20-year-old. It was prompted after 4 young men went missing in the span of 3 days. The 4 men were Dean Finiccio or something, Jimmy Tarpatrick, Mark Sturgis, and Tom Mio. So he was arrested yesterday for as he's trying to sell one of the guy's vehicles.
Oh,
Dude.
it's like using their cell phone or something.
Yeah, that's
You're a dumb
unbelievable.
killer.
How do people not know like the basics of this stuff? He comes from a wealthy family. He's trying to sell a 96 Nissan for $500. What are you doing?
What color?
It was actually, I believe, champagne.
Nice.
I wonder if that was a deal, though. Like, what do you think a 96? I suppose it depends what kind of
I think
Nissan it is.
Well,
But
it depend on the mileage. Can't believe the Blue Book would be very high on that one.
yeah, maybe you can look that up, E.
What's the model?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find it here in the story.
What do you want to look up? What car he had, or how much the car
Blue
would be
Book,
worth?
Nissan 96.
Yeah, and I don't know the mileage, which is so key to the whole thing.
I think Kelly will give us a range, though.
You think
based
so?
on mileage, so we can determine. I can't imagine it'd be worth more than a couple $1,000, even in the best
Yeah.
condition.
People are saying that knew him, like, yeah, this dude was a fucking weirdo, by the way. Like, I can tell you, this one friend of the Mio guy said he sold guns and weed and
What's weird about that,
and
Mike?
bragged about having someone killed over a debt at some point. I can tell you on multiple different occasions, on multiple different accounts from multiple different people, including myself, Cosmo has spoken about weird things like killing people and having people killed. Everybody you talk to about this guy hears he's mentally unstable. Yeah, the discovery of the remains presents a big break in this case for authorities who have conducted an exhaustive search of this giant property.
For numerous victims, right? It's not just this one missing kid.
Yeah, they think there's multiple human remains, and they're trying to figure out exactly what they've got now. Okay, he tried to sell a champagne-colored 96 Nissan Maxima for $500.
It's just like a sedan, right? Maxima.
I think so, yeah.
Jesus, what do we have?
Does champagne hurt it, the sales?
I mean, it's a neutral color, you know. It's not like it's bright red and you're bright yellow and you're trying to
Yeah.
off that. It's pretty neutral.
Is it?
Champagne.
Yeah, I suppose it is. I don't know. You would think like a white Nissan Maxima,
Yeah,
or blue, or
you'd
black,
prefer
or red.
that.
Champagne makes it seem like it's trying too hard.
Yeah, it's a 4-door sedan.
Yeah. See if you can find a Kelly Blue Book on that.
Here.
I'm gonna go Nissan Maxima 1996
fucking-
Blue Book value.
Just put the fucking price here. It's right here.
What is it, E?
It doesn't say. I'm trying to find it.
Jay, the race is on. He's had a 5-minute jump on you.
I'm not at a. He's not been 5 minutes, but
At least a 5-minute jump.
just regular 4-door, I guess.
So anyway,
Fucking-
they found the car on
Give me
this
a
guy's.
fucking price.
It's a
Sorry.
property.
ugly car.
Is it?
Yeah.
They found this kid's diabetic kid in there too, and his parents said, yeah, he would never leave his diabetic kid. So anyway, Cosmo, it looks like is going to go down to Chinatown. They've got him on a $5 million
Fair
bond.
market range 1,100 to 2,500.
Yeah, he just wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah.
$500, not a bad deal. But you're still going to have to turn over the title and stuff, right? You can't just. I mean, maybe people don't care about
A normal purchase would require that, Mike.
Yeah. Well, I'm always amazed when we see these stories of people that are so dumb with some of these details, like trying to sell the dead kid's car, and like, how stupid are you?
Taking
like
their
you said,
ATM card, you know, trying to, yeah.
There's a 15-year-old girl who shot her mom. There's another story that I have. She like went home and her mom's at work, and she waits for her mom to get home, and then she's like, Mom, I need you to sit down and put a towel over your head. And she does, and then
man.
shoots her in the fucking face, kills her mom. Anna Schroeder's her name. She had a .38 revolver. I don't know how many clips or magazines she had with it, but as far as I know, it was just one shot was needed. So she waits for her 53-year-old mom, Peggy. Peggy comes in the door. Well, yes, I'll put a towel over my face and sit here for you. This happened in Illinois. When she got back, she shot her in the head in the living room. Anna has since been charged with a couple counts of first-degree murder. Despite the severity of the crime, according to state law, she will appear as a juvenile, and if found guilty of this murder, she'll be released at 21.
Oh, my gosh.
She's 15. Isn't that crazy?
Cold-blooded killing of your mother.
Yeah. So then she texts her friend, Rachel Helm, who's also 15, to confess that she'd killed her mom. And Rachel's like, No way, prove it. I don't believe it.
Let's see pictures.
I don't
Send me
believe
pictures.
it. And so she refused to believe that she did. So Rachel's she takes a picture and sends it to her.
Hashtag dead mom.
Oh my God, here she is. Check it out. And so Rachel's like, Mom, I need a lift. I'm going over to Anna's house. I'm going to hang out with Anna. And so Rachel's mom drives her over there, and they're trying to clean up Anna's house, clean the blood out of the carpet. The next day, they
So
move.
that went well.
Yeah.
Dude, how do you become like such a monster, man?
Can you imagine getting a phone call from a buddy? Say I call you and just like, dude, I shot my mom in the face to death.
Oh,
And I could understand you. It's okay if you went, nuh-uh, no way, I don't believe you. But the thought of you coming over to like help me.
no, not happening.
Think about that at 15, like the seeing a dead body, not just a dead body, but one shot in the face.
Yeah, someone you know.
Yes.
Well, you're not driving over yourself. You're having to ask your mom, like, Mom, I need to get a ride.
Yeah, you're not willing to break the law enough to get in the car and drive yourself over.
So the next day, they move Peggy's body from the living room to the bedroom, and they cover her with a sheet, and then they go out and buy more cleaning supplies. Like everything on here is like, oh yeah, this is like, okay, now we're gonna see like the black and white closed circuit TV of here's the girls walking into Walmart and buying a bunch of cleaning supplies. Like this is textbook how you get busted. This is right down the list.
How about a shovel, a spade shovel?
Yeah, right. Some duct tape and some rope, a shovel, an axe. Unfortunately, ultimately they decided the best move was to burn the house down. So
We've seen that move before.
yeah. Unfortunately, the bullet through the skull a lot of times survives the burning of the
Those
house.
darn forensics.
Oh my God. Where do you think the end game's gonna happen? What do you think?
Morons.
Firefighters found Peggy's body inside the what was left of the house. Rachel then confessed everything to her mom. Oh my God, Mom, I can't live with this. We like burned the house down and shit. So of course,
Rachel walks her ass into this crime.
Yeah.
Could have just like, ooh, wow, that's awful. Sucks to be you. Instead, she holds hands.
Yeah.
That's a good
into
friend,
fucking
to be
prison.
fair, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a good friend.
Well, it could be a good move on Anna's part because you're both 15. You're both going to be out at 21, and now you've at least got a buddy in prison with you, right?
Buddy and juvie.
Rachel, so she confesses to everything to her mother. At the same time, Anna posts a message on her dead mom's Facebook page.
oh, here we go. Oh my God, my house is on fire. I can't believe it.
No, so the daughter
I can't
posts.
get out. Oh, my head hurts.
Yeah.
I don't know who did this, but it sure wasn't my daughter Anna. No, Anna actually posted on her mom's like, "I'll never forget you. I love you. I don't even know if you can see me right now, but if you can, I just want you to know you were my best friend. I wasn't always the best daughter, especially
At that moment when I pulled the trigger.
That was like probably my worst moment.
As far as like daughters go, like I don't know what's worse, the pulling of the trigger moment or when I lit you on
And
fire.
I think that's kind of bullshit too. Her calling her mom her best friend. Your best friend is clearly the friend that had no need, like she did not mean to be involved, and decided to help you cover up a murder.
Great point.
I wasn't always the best daughter, and I'm so sorry. I love you so much, Mom. I just want you to know that I'll never forget you. But it's like,
Oh, she was posting that in her mind, thinking that they would see. Well,
she posted
everything-
that in her own name and then posted it on her mom's site. So
So
she
then
wasn't
her-
posting as her mom.
Yeah, so in her mind though, she's posting it like thinking that people will look at it and go like, "Oh man, obviously."
Yeah, several missteps there.
Yeah. Just text, like, dude, you don't have to watch a lot of Datelines or 2020s, but like this is,
Try to follow it.
oh,
Yeah,
like
that was-
there are certain things, man. You don't want your phone pinging off towers. Like if you go to kill someone, you need to take the battery out of your phone. Turning it off isn't even good enough. Leave it at home.
You don't want to kill a relative, number one.
Best case scenario, your round trip is a half hour for the murder, let's say. So I'm going over to Big E's and I'm going to murder him. The best case scenario is I call Jay from my house and I go, hey, dude, this is going to sound weird, but can you just leave your phone there like we're having a conversation? I'll be back in 30 minutes and you can hang up. I'll let you know. And then you just set your phone down. You set your phone down, and now it looks like we're having a conversation. I go over, shoot E's face 20, 30 times.
Sounds reasonable.
And then I come back and, dude, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. That's all I needed. Thanks, bro. See you
gotta hope
tomorrow.
That friend doesn't give up. Doesn't.
I have a feeling E's gonna be sick for work tomorrow. But then my phone's not pinging off like all the way to his door.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Isn't that great? I've thought a lot about killing
That's a
you.
decent idea.
Yeah.
Not the killing of me part, but I mean the phone.
It gets you nowhere because I'm sitting there going, it was kind of weird. Mike called me and had me sit there for a half hour.
Yeah,
You
but
do,
I
you
wouldn't.
call,
I
like,
wouldn't.
a
I wouldn't do
telemarketer
that to
or
you.
some shit. You'd call
Yeah.
something that will just be on hold. Like call Comcast.
I would call.
Where you're assured an hour on hold.
Yeah, call the Sears line.
Tell them your dryer is broken.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I wouldn't call you. I'd call someone with
That you could trust to keep
yes,
it quiet. Yeah.
Yes, definitely someone that's not a fucking principled asshole, morals and stuff. Ooh, look at my morals and values. Whoa, it's
Against
wrong
murder.
to kill people.
I'm against murder.
Whoa.
Whoa, I'm out there. I'm a real outlier.
And my argument is, he's already dead. What is throwing me in jail going to do?
Yeah.
Like, okay,
By that
ruin
basis,
my life
then nobody
too?
should ever go to jail for
No,
anything.
for me, involving me.
It's not going to bring him back.
No. If throwing
Not
me
that
in
we would
jail
want that.
would bring him back, then by all means, if you miss him that much, fine. But dude, he's dead now. I'm basically dead too because of you.
It's gotten very macabre, Mike.
Yeah.
Let's lighten the mood.
Douglas! And we're gonna
Find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, Doug, Dougie, Doug, Doug. Buying or selling a home can be one of the most stressful times of a person's life. Doug Steinert at Century 21 Campbell wants to make the sale of your old home or the purchase of your dream home as stress-free as possible. Call Douglas at 248-765-1781. Let him and the team at Century 21 Campbell make your home purchasing dreams a reality. Call Douglas at 248-765-1781.
I know this is from the story before, technically.
Yeah.
You kind of get moved on, and I think you would be interested to see.
Donnie Wahlberg, how kind! You're the best!
What an obnoxious post, dude.
Dang, that's so nice. Wow, that's incredible. That's awesome. You're a good guy.
56,000 likes or 59,000 likes.
And these
Wow,
comments.
that's incredible. Dang, that's so nice. Nice.
Who's the hero now? Lead by example. Good boys.
Look at these. They're just sucking his dick.
That
There you
is
go. A
terrific.
big tip should be kept private, not bragged about. Just saying.
Yeah.
Finally.
Then you rock. This is terrific. I hate a crap tipper.
Thank God
Look
you're
at that
so
tip.
That's seriously awesome. You're amazing. Heart, 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 heart.
Who are these?
Dude, his followers though. Think about who follows
Right.
Donald Wahlberg.
I would think like moms.
yeah. So
Yeah.
a mom would, oh my gosh, Donnie,
Oh my
that's so
God.
nice.
It's so nice.
I wish
when
I heard
got-
about it from anyone but you, but that's still
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It would be mean to say something like that, so I won't. Good
Yeah.
job, Donnie.
And then behind the scenes, they're like, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
There's the Kid Rock
The kid.
making the news today.
Looks like he might be making a Senate run. Is that right?
Yeah, taking on Debbie Stabenow.
That's
Democrat-
interesting because Bob Young is taking on Debbie Stabenow. Bob
Yeah.
Young is former Chief Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know Mr.
And
Young?
he's a
Yeah.
heavy hitter, man.
Is he a good dude?
Dude, he's on the short list for U.S. Supreme Court. Trump's U.S. Supreme Court.
No
shortlist.
kidding.
He's too old for it, and he acknowledges that.
Do you know him for real?
I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, like personally, like if you called him, he would go, "Hey, Jay, I remember you."
Yeah. I'm not gonna call him on this show.
No,
No.
I want to talk to a potential U.S. Supreme Court justice.
U.S. Supreme Court Justice. No, we're not calling him on this show.
Oh, that'll get him.
No, Bob's a good guy. And
Bob,
ones-
what are you, chicken?
Bob's a conservative. I would think.
Yep.
I would think Bob would also be a conservative.
He is.
So I don't know that they'd want to pit those two against each other.
You mean Bob Ritchie?
I do.
Yeah. Unfortunately for your boy Bob, he doesn't have the name Kid Rock.
I know,
You know what
but
I mean, like it's just weird.
but that surprises me. That usually in those political circles, they kind of put one guy up, and that's the guy they get behind, and
Okay.
they don't kind of pit guys like that together.
It's interesting you say that because they have sought comment from the Republican Party, and their comment was, "Yeah, this is the first we're hearing about Kid Rock running for
Yeah.
a seat like this."
There's
So
rumblings about this for a while, especially when him and Nugent were at the White House a couple months
with
ago.
Palin,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but they're got their picture taken with Hillary's framed photo in there,
Yes.
like mocking Hillary. Yeah, I don't know, man. These stories are weird, but he does have his website acknowledged that yes, this is true. He's basically said this is true that he's considering a run. His Senate candidacy is real. He said he'll make a major announcement in the near future. So yeah, he's also got a website that's selling merchandise about Kid Rock, merch, but I don't remember, like Kid Rock 2020 or 20, whatever it is.
Well, he might be doing an independent run then, because I honestly, like, Bob Young is such a strong candidate. I'm surprised. Like, I'm not saying they wouldn't move Bob Young out and move Bob Ritchie in, the Republicans, but he really is a strong candidate. There's been past years where it would have been probably really helpful to have a Bob Ritchie step up and do that, and this is not kind of one of those cycles.
So why would this justice want to do this now? Like, if he's older and he's
done with jurisprudence, Mike.
Yeah,
he just retired from the Michigan Supreme Court a little while ago.
Okay,
and this was the next stop.
Yeah,
and it's just, this is probably a bit surprising.
Yeah, he first, they talk about Kid Rock first voicing his Trump support back in February last year, saying he found his campaign to be entertaining as shit. And when you hear stuff like that, I'm just like, I know we're living in an idiocracy right now. We are. It's like, it's the best. He's an exceptional guy. Like, it's buffoonery. But we keep hearing about these celebrities now that are popping up all over, talking about running for president.
Yeah, but maybe you're just assuming that's bad. Like, we've talked a lot about getting rid of that whole layer of bullshit, and just having plain talkers, plain thinkers.
Yeah.
So you might call it idiocracy, but maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just like getting people in with just, I don't know, just plain thinkers, and not having to be beholden to layers of bureaucracy and layers of fund.
This is the response to not having career politicians, though. I mean,
I like that. And the more you back layer it and you think about it, you go, well, Trey Gowdy was just a fucking lawyer before he became Trey Gowdy and worked his way up, and now he's on the judicial whatever.
He's just a lawyer. He was a federal prosecutor, though.
Okay,
you have to
I
be
mean,
a political animal to get there.
Right. Okay. Bad example. But these people weren't somebody until they became somebody from doing this. They were just a
yeah, but this is a big step to be one of the 100 U.S. senators.
Yeah. Well,
if he were like, well, I'm going to be a Michigan congressman, I'm going to run for Michigan legislature, you go, okay, well, that's a good starting step for somebody getting in the business.
Well, if that's the road we're going to go down, where you've got The Rock talking, there's rumors that he's going to run for president in 2020.
He could win, dude. He could absolutely win.
Trump won, dude.
Universe.
Dude, isn't he the people's choice or
He's
something?
the people's champ, man.
The people's champ. And people, like, seriously, like, if you're just a wrestling fan, you would vote for The Rock for president. Just like, no way I'm voting for The Rock.
Yeah.
I would vote for Nikki Sixx for president just on, just because, like, no way. Yeah, hell yeah, I want Sixx in the office.
The real Nikki Sixx? Or?
Yeah. But politics is such a gotcha game that would have to change. It would have to. Like, this whole thing of digging through someone's past. Well, there was a time when he said this. It's like, he's motherfucked and N-worded his way through life. So, like, maybe it's good. Like, it's already out there. Like, everything's out there involving Kid Rock or, doing drugs and this and that. And God knows what is in The Rock's past. But so maybe you're right. That's a good thing. Like, you can't play that sword card, like, look at this audio we found from 30 years ago.
Here's The Rock on Monday Night Raw talking about eating pie.
The fact is you had to be somewhat socially retarded to get elected to any position of value in the past, and certainly in order to be a judge at a high level, you had to go into this shell and just be, again, socially retarded, not really out there partying and being a man of the people, but just focusing just on that.
Well, do you worry that, like, these people there's a lot of ego involved with celebrity, and it's like, hell yeah, I could do that, fuck those guys. And you get in there, and you're not really getting in there on merit. You're not getting in there on, like, really knowing the laws and understanding the very, let's be honest, man, it is a very difficult thing to help shape policy in this country when you're dealing with world affairs. And you see it with Trump tripping over his own feet every day. And it's like, do we really want to load this country with Kid Rocks and The Rock and Trump? I mean, it sounds dangerous more than anything.
Yeah.
Because Kid Rock is not, he's a smart guy. He's fun to talk to. He's interesting.
But you're one piece of the puzzle, That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's what Trump is finding out. He's not a king, but he's got to work within the system, and Congress has to be incredibly frustrating to him. As he's watching this health care bill happen, when he's promised all this, well, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen. Everybody does it on the campaign trail.
Yeah.
But I think he really, truly is frustrated by how slowly those fuckers work and what a shit show Congress really is.
Yeah, but isn't it purposely designed that way?
Yeah.
To run like that? You know, they don't want to rush things through. But it's very frustrating. But it's almost a shame. Like the guy you're talking about, Bob Young. Here's a guy that's like worked his ass off and studied and prepared and understands. And it's like he could literally, with that perfect record and qualification,
Just be pushed aside.
could just lose to Kid Rock because he's, you know, my name, you know, and it's like, dude, really? Really?
Will he still be
That's our
continuing-
culture, dude.
It's
our culture.
scary. I know when you look back 50 years, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it's like, I want to be an engineer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. And now, honest to God, we've talked about it, dude. Kim Kardashian's assistant is like tops of the list. Like that's what kids are dreaming for. It's not scientist. It's not, you know,
Boring.
engineer. It's you know, be a celebrity publicist or assistant. Celebrity assistant is like number one on the list. And it's like, all right.
I wouldn't mind getting rid of more elitist politicians, though. I got no problem with bringing in some new blood.
You voting for Kid Rock?
Maybe.
Who would you vote for, Bob Young or Kid Rock?
Oh, I'd have to see what the kid was running on.
What his policies were.
Yeah.
Extended recess for everybody! Free milk and lunch!
Will he still be doing his yearly 7 shows at Pine Knob as he's
He's coming out in a suit now. I don't want to see Kid Rock in a suit. He's got to take office in a wife beater and shades, right?
I know. Wouldn't that be something? See him sitting there voting yay or nay on shit.
Hair combed over to the side, proper haircut. No, thank you. Hey, let's take a quick break, and then we got an apology from Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
He's buddy.
He's buddy, man. How's Shia doing, E?
not great, I guess.
Yeah.
We kind of lost truck. We lost contact recently, as of late.
Lost touch after the huddle around the "He will not divide us" camera.
You know what?
Now is the time to be social media posting images of you and Shia.
He will
point.
not divide us. God, that was
I'm
compelling.
with you, Shyla.
Shyla. I'd call him Shia.
You should be tweeting your picture, him and you, to him, and just like, hey,
I'm with you,
know,
brother.
my good friend Shia. I understand times are tough right now, but hang in there, pal. You know, bright skies ahead or something.
If you ever want to talk it through, give us a call.
Yeah, give us
The
a shout.
Detroit Cast.
That's a long tweet there, but I know
Whatever,
what you're saying.
Instagram it.
I understand what you're saying. You're right.
Also, we've got one of the co-founders of Apple. Sold his shares a tad early.
Oh no.
Yeah, but he was one of the co-founders, and we'll get into him in a little bit as well.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hi everyone, this is Kelly Menino, your event coordinator for the Hamlin Pubs. Did you know that Hamlin Pubs Hi everyone, this is Kelly Menino, your event coordinator for the Hamlin Pubs. Did you know that Hamlin Pubs offer 2 private rooms at each location, both located in Shelby Township? We specialize in all kinds of events, from bridal and baby showers, dinner rehearsals, to corporate luncheons and wedding receptions. My team is committed to making your occasion your most memorable event. Give me a call today so that we can plan your next event. Call me at 586-596-1425 or visit our website at hamlinpubs.com.
During this break from Mike and Jay's hard-hitting analysis of the latest stories about dead babies, or strangely shaped tumors out of India, I want to encourage you to contact Brent Wasik about insurance. Yeah, I know, auto, home, and life insurance isn't as exciting as the latest toy, but it's important that you have the insurance coverages you need at the lowest possible price. Call Brent today at 734-455-1900 for a free quote. Brent's been in the insurance business 29 years, almost as long as Big E has resided in his poor parents' basement. And he's affiliated with tons of insurance companies. so he can shop for the very best prices. Call Brent today, 734-455-1900.
Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. And it's happening, dude. It's happening.
What do?
Exactly what I've been warning you about. Now,
The power grids?
yes. And guess who's attacking us now potentially?
Who, Mike?
The fucking sun. A hole.
What?
A hole.
What?
What? A hole has appeared on the sun. And
Black hole sun, won't
Sort of.
you come?
wash away the rain, black hole sun. Won't you come? Won't you come? In my face. Yeah, a huge hole has appeared on the sun that could send dangerous solar flares down
Mike.
to Earth, dude.
Oh, Mike.
The sunspot is it's a small spot as far as the sun goes. It's only 75,000 miles wide.
Oh.
Look at that. That black dot there below that 75,000 mile thing represents the Earth.
It's an amazing universe,
see.
isn't it?
It showed up like a week ago.
Holy shit.
And so these things, when they burn and then disperse these particles towards the magnetic field of the Earth, could wipe out grids, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, well, they're great.
But
Now we don't have to worry about Russia and China.
That's what I was
and
going to say.
North Korea.
This story was pushed aside by the Russia collusion story.
Yeah. So NASA is acknowledging it. Yeah, this thing popped up out of nowhere.
These things happen, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, they said this
Time
is a
to
very,
time.
very large one, and the potential's there. So if everything just goes out, yep, here we are.
Could be that or the
Walking Dead.
thunderstorm rolling through.
Walking Dead.
Okay.
I mentioned Apple's co-founder owned 10%. He had a 10% stake in Apple.
Nice little chunk.
Not bad. Unfortunately, he sold that for $800
Oh.
in 1976. Yeah.
Who could know?
Yeah. We're talking about Ronald Wayne.
Hindsight, you know?
He founded Apple Inc. with a couple names you might recognize. One, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak.
Yes, they do sound familiar.
Guess they worked at Apple together. He has absolutely zero regrets for selling his 10% stock share of
Liar!
Apple for $800.
How do you have zero regrets?
None.
Why can't you just be honest and
None.
be like, yeah, dude, it sucks. I mean, it's a bad move, obviously.
It could have been worse. I mean, the value of that today is only $67 billion. But whatever.
Holy shit.
It's only 60. It could have been worse, dude. What if it was $68 billion?
What do you need, like, at a couple car payments due or something?
Yeah, he was late on his mortgage payment.
I needed that 800 really, really bad.
Dude, the story to me is, Ron Wayne, you're a liar. You cannot possibly say,
Just be honest, man.
dude, go. If you just went like, dude, yeah, are you kidding me? I wake up every morning to a
Right.
scream. Ah! Oh my God, I sold that for $800. It'd be worth, like every day I'd be like, oh, it'd be worth $3 billion now.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be worth $4 billion today. And now this morning he would wake up and go, ah, that'd be worth $67 billion right now.
Yeah, it's like he and Pete Best vacation together.
Right. And he's got no regrets. He's like, I've said that since day one. I'll say it to my grave. And then it's like, so what do you think of Apple products? I've never owned a single one. It's like, oh, you're harboring no ill will. You've never owned a single Apple product in your life.
That's just absurd. That's an
Ronald.
absurd position. Like, dude, it's no skin off your back by just saying, yeah, obviously I fucked up here. I mean,
Yeah.
hindsight's 20/20. Companies come and go. Some
There's
flourish and
there's
some
plenty
die.
of times you can
Yeah, I made the call on this, and I was wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
never own an Apple product. Shut
I don't
up.
regret it. Of course you
Regrets?
regret it. That's the definition of regrets.
What, losing out on $67 billion for a car
Until his
payment?
grave, he'll say it. Until his grave.
He's credited with creating Apple's very first logo, an ink sketch of Isaac Newton reading under a tree with an apple hanging above his head.
Where's George Washington come in, though?
I don't know. Yeah, you mean with the axe?
Yeah, with the axe. And
Yeah, chopping it down. I
what's
don't know.
Isaac Newton doing there?
I don't know. He says, I knew at the time it was not a legit 20th century logo. It was a 19th century logo, but it was fun.
Hold on. Before moving on from your history moment there,
Yeah.
Easus,
Damn it.
do you have one today?
No.
You can't go a full week without a Big E history minute.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have one.
Well, you're not doing anything over there for the next 30 minutes, so come up with one.
What do you think of the Apple logo? Could you
Oh,
imagine if that
God,
was on
that's
all
a
your
bit
computers?
much. That is a bit much.
He's right. It's 19th century. It's not. Yeah, that on a computer would not look as cool as the Apple.
Right.
You know, the current Apple logo that you know. So yeah, he has, he has no doubt it was the right thing to do to leave when he did with Apple. You know why? Because his passion was never really in computers.
Yeah, it's about following your passions.
Yeah. If I had stayed with Apple, I knew I would never get my own project, and it wasn't my passion anyway.
And so, what does he do now? What's his own project? What's he ended up as?
I don't know.
I've never heard of this guy, have we?
Yeah. He prefers
digging swimming pools or some shit.
Collecting stamps and coins.
Not collecting residual paychecks.
Yeah. Let's see. Does it say what he does now? He's in an interview. Blah blah.
What's his name?
Ronald Wayne. Ronald Wayne.
Oh, Ron.
Yeah. So yeah, computers wasn't his thing, and he doesn't regret losing 67 bill. Whatever, it happens. We didn't talk about Shia LaBeouf yesterday. I guess, did you see that video?
I did, and it's what you expect. Just a belligerent dude in the back of a police car. It really wasn't worth watching, I don't think.
Yeah. It's amazing that he's not getting DUIs. Like and maybe he's got some, I don't know, but he's always caught like hammered drunk being a belligerent asshole on a street corner somewhere.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like how do you get arrested just being a dick-faced drunk on the street all the time?
Well, you saw him sober at the He Will Not Divide Us thing. He was a bit odd.
Yeah.
So add some chemicals to that.
He is apologizing now for, he watched the video of his behavior.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit when he's in the police car, and he's going on and on and on, and you can just hear the cop going, oh, God, here we go. Like he's under his breath, like muttering, okay, drunken fool.
Right.
LaBeouf says that he's sorry. He was charged with public drunkenness and disorderly conduct and obstruction. And he says, I'm deeply ashamed of my behavior and make no excuses for it. The severity of my behavior is not lost on me. My outright disrespect for authority is problematic, to say the least, and completely destructive, to say the worst. It is a new low, a low I hope is a bottom. I have been struggling with addiction publicly for far too long, and I am actively taking steps towards securing my sobriety and hope I can be forgiven for my mistakes.
That's a nicely drafted statement.
I would
Probably
agree.
Paid somebody $650 an hour to draft that.
It's good. It's the best way of handling things. Not like, this guy started it. I wasn't in the right, and trying to like pass some blame. But when you just go, dude, I'm an asshole.
Speaks
I'm sorry.
for itself.
Yeah, there's really no defense of that. There's some new video TMZ posted like of him in the police station too, and that sounds pretty bad as well. He
started to get into race and shit, right?
I don't know where he's going with that. Like he's trying to act like, you got the wrong guy. I'm on your team, bro. I'm on your team. You're arresting, like I'm pro-black.
Right.
It's like, okay. But he's yelling, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Hey, when you go home to your wife, what do you tell her at night? She watches porn. She probably watches the fucking big boys and shit, like looking at black dick. Good one.
Yeah, he was a mess, man.
Don't you feel fucked up being white about that? Don't you feel like, fuck, man, I ain't got all the goods? Don't you feel like a white joke? And then he gets into it with some black guy that sat down. I mean, just really awful. It would suck to have that hanging out there. Like that's there now. That's you.
Back to Ronald Wayne real quick. After leaving Apple, Wayne resisted Jobs' attempts to get him to return. So
Ron.
Jobs is like, no, dude, don't do this. Come
Ronald.
back. We need you, Ronald. He
You
remained.
made that sweet logo and everything. I mean, come on.
Dude, my man went over to Atari, though, and remained there until 1978 when he joined Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory.
Lawrence.
And later in an electronics company in Salinas, California, Wayne retired to a mobile home park in Nevada selling stamps and rare coins. Yeah, never owned an Apple product.
Ronald. He retired to a mobile home park. No offense to the mobile
by
home
the way,
community.
in Nevada, like, did you say I was outside of Las Vegas?
It's in Pahrump.
Oh, but Nevada, you said it was all
He's
right.
in the
Pahrump,
desert,
Nevada.
dude. He's in the middle of the desert.
Those are the
$5
worst.
an acre for land in the middle of that.
Oh, Ronald.
Oh, Ron, they tried begging you to come back. $67 billion. How do you live?
No regret.
None. As he retires to his that mobile home has one of those springs where the door slams shut.
Oh,
It doesn't
yeah.
close all the
It's
way.
got that fake grass mat outside it.
There's a one of those fan things stuck in the ground that, as the wind blows
Oh,
it,
yeah.
the pinwheel, I guess.
Of course. Oh. It's got that wood-paneled living room, quote-unquote living room.
Oh, God, I just hope
Living
for
room / family room / kitchen / bedroom.
I just hope for Ronald's sakes it's at least a double wide. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just...
You got a pick there, E?
No, not really.
You've got a standard mobile home in Nevada
Shit,
somewhere.
I don't know what the fuck happened here. God damn it.
Jesus.
I don't know how to get back to the other shit.
Hey, a comprehensive financial plan is the roadmap that can give you confidence to know that you're on the right financial path. Be one of the first 10 listeners to call Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial for a free comprehensive financial plan and make sure you are on the right path. This is Mark's new Fandango software system.
Cool.
Really excited about it. Give Mark a call today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark. E, did you have something you'd want to say? Something to add to the Mark Leibovitz?
Yes. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. You think this could be?
It's
I
not.
suppose it could be.
It's not the worst thing I've ever
Couple
seen.
steel drums sitting out there.
Yeah. If you need a steel
ladder.
drum, though, it's right outside your door.
Great point.
I've heard all the times that
Yeah. I mean, it's not ideal. It's
Dude, that could very likely be. I mean, you're talking.
that's Ron's digs.
I mean, I think it could be.
Dude, no regrets, man. You can't live life with regrets, and I'm
No.
glad Ronald's not. Couple things that we've seen of late, Jay, and you'll know what I'm talking about, is this idea of fat chicks being beautiful, fatness being praised,
Yep.
and a lot of people like to do this. Like, let's see what happens if we stick a Muslim person on the street and have them drop all their books, see if anyone helps them, and then have a hot chick do it.
Yeah.
See if, and it's like, oh, they all rush to help him. You know, it's like racist. Everybody's racist. They love doing these videos, and so they were out in Times Square recently, and they filmed two women who agreed to be body painted by an artist and then just walk around the streets of New York City naked to see people's reactions and how they were different if you were overweight versus if you were not overweight.
Okay.
And do you have the video there, E? Can we see a part of it? Because I'm thinking the one on the right is the one that was not overweight. Do you want to hit audio there, E? Can you? Why don't you hit?
Very different body types. I will agree with that.
See how people react to each body type.
This guy painting this big boob. This big floppy boob.
Look at that gut.
Oh.
I think it's a beautiful thing. We're celebrating the human
Yeah,
body.
no, it's gorgeous.
I guess it's a lot of courage because
No.
she does not have the perfect body.
You know, on Times Square, she's not the only naked person.
Good point.
Not
Says
for
a
my
chick.
squirrel shirt.
Yeah, a chick dressed up as a squirrel.
She's ugly.
Says an ugly guy.
Yeah.
Maybe younger girl would do better.
It's a hot mess.
Guy eating a giant ice cream cone.
Oh, now that's
No, whoa, what's going on here?
That guy's painting some
Tina.
titties.
Oh, wow, those are some nice looking titties, aren't they? Not bad. Compared to what we were just looking at.
Yeah.
So you basically have.
Cool. She has a great body. Why not show it off with some beautiful art?
My husband
Yeah.
just said the last thing he was thinking about was actually the artwork. He was just looking at the figure, which is fine.
She looks good.
Sure it is.
I would do that.
Very brave,
Me too.
to be honest. I wouldn't have done
Yeah,
it.
we're hideous.
It's
Yeah.
weird. In my country, it's not happening.
Yeah, well, we're not in your
I think
country.
it's a great piece of art and also a good social statement. You know, the human body should not be sexualized or
Right.
That's all it is.
So I would say more people, generally speaking, were watching Nicole more for the sake of art.
Right.
And more people who were watching Irina were either watching it because, let's say, maybe they found her very attractive, or they thought
No,
we
you
were
think?
doing something.
Gosh,
you
what a
know,
groundbreaking
big.
experiment.
This is
People found the more attractive woman more attractive.
Isn't that crazy how that works? Look at that, dude. I'm sorry. I honestly don't mean to be a dick. I don't. I'm a fat person. But that is
the record reflect.
hideous, dude. And this overdriving push to like normalize and
It's unhealthy, by the way,
and
too.
praise. I know that's the point. That's walking diabetes. And I'm walking diabetes. I am not to be praised or thought of as brave or courageous. It's obnoxious, and it should get a reaction.
It's the participation medal just gone askew, right? Everybody's beautiful. Well, okay, everybody inside can be beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Everybody is a useful, valuable person. Mm-hmm. I believe that. I believe that people, you can find good in everybody, and
course.
everybody's valuable on this planet. Not everybody's beautiful.
No. In fact,
I'm not
most
saying
of us
I am.
aren't.
Right.
Yeah, you're closer to the beautiful
Not
side.
everybody's beautiful. Sorry. There's just
It is what it is.
Different things. Like that thing over there is blue, that thing isn't.
Yeah. And even if you, like, people are so quick to point the finger of shame at someone who's like, ugh, boy, that's not attractive. I don't want to see that nude in the middle of the road. And it's like, oh, shame on you. How dare you? And it's like, well, you're offering this up for a reaction. You want my reaction? Or what? So you can call me a sexist, a misogynist, a fattest? Whatever, dude.
You can't have a personal preference in what you find beautiful?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to?
Apparently not. But people are doing this more and more, where it's like a camera's in their face and they feel like, oh my God, I have to give the answer of, well, this was very brave and it's, the human body should be less sexualized, and you're a dude. It's like, what are you doing, dude? What are you talking about? This should not be praised. This is unhealthy as shit, and it should not be praised as anything other than that. Like, dude, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You're going to lose a foot before you die. Sorry. Sorry. And then you'll be nude in a wheelchair being painted around New York City. And I am too. I'm not taking any fault. Hey, Jay.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, buddy. If you feel the need...
Sounded so gay.
I needed a transition, and I just stumbled into
that.
Hey, Jay.
But how you said it, you just... Hey,
Hey,
buddy.
Mike. Hey, buddy. If you at any point want to take a knee on this story...
what do we have?
I don't blame you. We have married mother of two leaving church after praying, was robbed and assaulted at gunpoint by 5 young men in Queens, New York. She's 50. She walks out of her church, and she was approached by a couple of young guys on the street, and she was headed towards like the subway, and they're like, no, we're going this way. And they allegedly held her at gunpoint, and where they attacked her behind a garbage truck, demanding her wallet. And she doesn't have shit on her. And so they're like, oh, you don't have any money, so take off your clothes.
Oh, Jesus.
I said, the woman says, what? What? In the middle of the street? They're like, yeah. The 2 men called over 3 of their buddies who were nearby to join them before they forced her to strip naked in the street and blow each of them.
Monsters.
What
do you want me to say?
How do we
Monsters.
get here? That's why I know. That's why I said I don't blame you if you want to take a knee. There's nothing you can say. She tried to scare them away, and this is not a bad move for a 50-year-old woman walking out of church. What do you think?
Take a bite?
What's that?
Did she take a bite?
No, that wouldn't have been bad. It probably would have cost her her life, but
Yeah.
it would have felt great in the moment that you were doing that. What do you think her defense mechanism was? And in the rush of things, the adrenaline's going. What do you think she tried to do to get them to not do that?
Oh, call out the time of the month kind of thing? Like you don't want to bang me?
Yeah, that's not bad. No, she tried to scare them away by saying, I'm HIV positive. Not a bad call. That didn't even frighten them.
Yeah, so are we.
Yeah. 3 of the 5 young men took turns forcing her to blow them. One of the men did run away and return with a Jimmy, though. He was like, hey, if we're going to do this, let's be safe about this.
That's responsible.
She was...
Imagine that, man. You leave the scene. You got to go get a Jimmy.
Yeah.
Run back to this thing that you've caught.
Yeah, this piece of meat you've got trapped.
Yeah, you've caught it behind these bushes over here. I'm going to throw this on and just jam my dick in her.
Ugh. And then one of them slapped her face before they ran off.
What I just never got
apparently
is like,
one of them dropped the rubber or something, and so they're testing it for DNA. She ran back to her church, half naked, crying. Her pastor said she was crying. Her face was full of rubbish. She had clothes in her hands. This is horrible. This is a very kind woman. She's been with my church for 10 years. And then she says, I'm very worried. I don't know if I can go back there. They are just mean hooligan guys who wanted to rob and sleep with somebody. So, yeah, all the men, they say, are in the 5 men are in their 20s. How do you... I don't know how you go on with life at that. Like, how... Like, that woman, I'm just thinking of her, like, being forced onto her knee. Like...
It's quite a violation.
Oh, so awful. So awful.
Hey, where does the pleasure come from that? I just don't... That's what
It's
I mean,
gotta be just
I
a
know it's a...
power thing,
I know
right?
it's a power thing. But it's like... And I know it's like... It's a monstrous thing, and I don't think it's okay in any capacity, but I don't even get, like, you're doing this... that's what I don't even get about it. Like, I just don't even get where I would...
I mean,
she's
got to go home and literally tell her husband she had 5 dicks in her mouth right after church. Seriously. Like, on some level, she has to explain this to her family, like what happened. And I almost can't think of a more horrific assault on a person. You know? I'm glad you hung in there, Jay. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Almost made it through that story.
Podcast award nominations. Should we mention that?
Look at how fast he wants to move on.
Podcastawards.com. Please go there. We are up for nomination for comedy, entertainment, mature, and people's choice. Please go there if you haven't already and nominate us in those 4 categories.
I guess should we get to email, Jay?
Sure.
You
know, before
sorry,
we
I didn't
do
mean to
that,
crash the party at the end of the week like that. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's just a gross story, man. It's just awful.
I know, but when you ask me, like, oh, why do you care if you don't care if an animal dies?
Oh, that's what that was. You threw it in there to look human.
But why do you? A human dies and you don't care? It's like, yeah. That's what humans are to me.
He wanted to end the week with some
just
humanity.
like the extra content he did the other day,
Yeah.
where it was all to get to a pun.
Yep.
No, it
It was.
You guys are so
20
full of
minutes
shit.
of extra
You
content
guys
to
are
get to
full
a
of
pun.
shit.
Dude, you so much so wanted to get it in that you tried to force it in the regular show. Then when we were going to do stuff for the media's area, you're like, wow, why don't we do this extra story?
It's just not true. It's a falsehood, and I
built
don't
it,
appreciate that.
and bam, hit that pun, and we were like, aha! That's why we're doing this. You wanted to hit the pun.
What was the
Faith?
The name.
If you want to, I was going to say, if you want to know the pun, you should become a member and go find out for yourself.
That is bullshit. We were about to do member content for something else, and in front of me I have a stack that piles up of stories that we didn't get to. And while we were sitting here, I had a couple minutes, and I was looking at this story, and I was like, wow, we should have done that story. And I was like, Jay, you want to just do a few minutes of extra content? We'll just do the story. And
I said,
Jay,
sure,
as usual, went sure. And so we did, and then it was like the final sentence of the story. And then I made the pun that I made, and I swear to God, it hit me in the moment. It was not pre-planned.
You know what though? That's a good advertisement as any for the members area. Only because what you see there is that literally sometimes it's just a show.
Yeah,
but more.
Yeah. If you want more of the show, hey man, and that's funny you say that because Kyle Mayer emailed in the other day and he was like, I've got a plug for the members area. While the Detroit Cast was off for the week, Kyle says I had great additional content to listen to. I've been a member since the beginning, but hadn't listened to the additional content at all. And it provided hours of new entertainment. Hell yeah, it did. It probably provided you 3 weeks of new entertainment.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's basically us 3 knuckleheads in a room just doing
knucklehead things.
Yeah, doing this.
Go to members area tab on DetroitCast.com if you're interested and check that out.
It's honestly the perfect way to support this show and keep it going where we don't have to rely on outside forces.
The content camp, we can keep doing the content that you want to do, which is dead baby stories and shit.
Sure. and church members being mouth raped. Those types of things. I know.
The classy stuff.
The reading of Post. We'll move on. Tom writes in with hugs and kisses from Florida.
Excellent.
This is an interesting one. It doesn't have a fact, unfortunately, but it does have you and then me. So it's got the big desk with shit all over, and then me sitting on a beach, the flamingo, the beautiful weather.
So the shitty part on the left represents you and I.
Yeah.
I got you.
And then grind while he's out there living it up.
Hi from God's waiting room, says Tom. Lots of old people down here.
Waiting room.
Never heard that?
Yeah, I have, but it's still funny to me when I hear it.
Lots of nanas, probably all with lightning bolts. Anyways, is that what the astronom couch looks like on the front of the card? Eat shit, Eric. To the rest of you, carry on and good day. Thank you for the post, Tom.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful post. I'm going to be pinning that up on the wall in due time. Here's another one. He didn't ruin it by writing all over it or having it stamped by our shit
you
post
want it
office.
written on, don't you?
Well, I'd prefer it written on, but he included a note with it.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
Bear hunting in Michigan. Then we have a picture of a bare-assed guy hunting in Michigan. Jay, I found some posts that provides a depiction of Biggie's solo camping venture. Due to the fact that he's still temporarily in the closet, we don't actually know what kind of men he's into. However, I wouldn't be surprised if he truly was bear hunting in western Michigan. I also wouldn't be surprised if he were jock, queen, otter, power bottom, daddy, chub, wolf, twink, or twunk hunting.
I think I only knew one of those things.
Anything without a vagine would probably do.
I appreciate the pun and the play on words. Bear hunting, B-A-R-E, not B-A-E-A-R, hunting. But do you really find it necessary to pixelate the guy's butt crack?
You want to see the butt crack, don't you?
Well, it just seems like it's over the top in PG-ness. You know what I mean? Like
this is sitting out on a stand, in a party store.
But what's the difference of that?
Yeah,
Did I see how bad it is?
What, like kids haven't seen a butt before?
No, but I get why they do it.
I don't. Like, would you be bothered if you and Sweet Pie were shopping for postcards and this one was in the spindle?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Ugh, stop
A
it.
man's ass in my kid's
But
face.
it's not, if it was like spreading the butt cheeks apart and like pushing out a butthole, you know what I mean? And you're really getting a good look at the pucker. Like, yeah, I would agree. Like, no, probably not the best thing. You want a pixel like that. But this is just like a guy from a distance walking.
The pucker. The pucker.
But this guy's just like off in the distance with his butt, you know?
Yeah, it's almost like you can see it, and it's kind of dumb. But Nate writes in, this is a great take. I'm fully behind you now, Nate. I hear what you're saying. Pompous, plump ass, and punk ass. I'm listening to episode 853. I have to call bullshit on one of the segments. The news story about the South African getting his dick and balls eaten by his half-blind pit bull has to be a complete lie. Now, hear Nate out. This is great reasoning.
Okay.
I think it's completely obvious that he didn't die from a heart attack and then immediately get his cock eaten by his dog. I present for consideration that this sick fuck went home on his lunch break from his milking job. His wife was away singing with the church choir, and he decided to pull a little peanut butter trick with old buddy Duke. I would surmise that Duke got a little aggressive due to his poor vision and love of peanut butter and accidentally bit off Don's dick. The extreme shock caused him to go into cardiac arrest and die, and Duke was left to finish off the peanut butter balls. To avoid further embarrassment, Don's son quietly put the PB jar back in the cupboard when he found the body and made up the ridiculous rough tongue story. It's the only explanation that makes any sense. Love the show, Nate.
It's a
great take.
It's a great take. It's a great take. His reference to lack of vision was, if you remember, Duke had one eye. That's a brilliant take, because the one thing that bothered me most about that story was the fact that he didn't show up to work that night, and his kid was at the house that evening checking on him.
Yeah.
Like, they immediately called and went, hey, where's your dad? He's usually at his milking hut by now. And he finds him, and it's like, that dog would not have gotten to the hunger point of, like, eating his dad's dick. And
Still
why
doesn't
is
explain why the son feels the need to go on record and explain it.
Yeah.
Like, why you can't just be like, yeah, my dad died.
I'd like some further explanation as to why he's fully nude anyways. Like, he has a heart attack. It's like,
yeah, I think
he
Nate's
should be
onto
pantsed. Like, why is he pantsless?
When
Dude.
you do the peanut butter trick, do you take off your shirt too?
I very rarely take off my shirt.
Yeah.
Ever.
But when you do the peanut butter trick,
No, I still leave.
He still leaves his shirt on.
Leave the shirt on.
He just pulls it up over his belly.
Yeah.
Exposes half the star.
I hate going shirtless. Like, it has to be so hot before I go shirtless.
Yeah. My idea is getting a lot of love, speaking of E, concerning the hot dog eating contest. I don't think Big E should rule out the other holes to shove hot
what a
dogs into,
shock.
says Jay.
Yeah. It's getting a lot of love on Facebook, too. People are like, it's just not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's an unheard of move, says Jay.
Oh,
I just picture this panel of people trying to champ down and swallow their mouthfuls, waiting until it's swallowed to go on for more. Everyone has cheeks filled. Then the panel looks down at the Big E, and he has a huge mouthful, but he's shoving them in his butt left and right.
Yeah. I mean, it would take, like...
It would double his intake.
Yeah.
Giving him a substantial lead. Then he could lay off ass insertion and go just conventional mouth insertion. Big E might want to consider holding off on the ass insertion until the last minute or so mark. The last thing you want to do is give away the superpower at the start.
Yeah.
You might end up having the rest of the panel steal your secret weapon, and then the whole panel is just shoving dongs up their butt, leveling the advantage. You got the shitty.
Would it be fair? I don't know what the rules of engagement are for a game like this, but if E wore a baseball hat and just loaded the bill with Vaseline, because I think if he were to just like tap that, grease his butthole, he could really get him in there with some speed. But is that like spitball type
it's like
things?
a pitcher
or,
thing.
Yeah, is that like roughing up the ball?
An emery board in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Might be.
I know there's a lot of people who are like, dude, it's got to be in your body.
You're
no one has ever.
You're gonna Necro this one, E?
You know what? Someone else can do that too. If someone else wants to join, people could
Dude,
join the
we're
eating
rooting
contest
for you, E.
and pay $10 for charity, and they could do that. And then
You have to put as many hot dogs as you can into your body, E. You got this.
Well, I'm going to be consuming them orally.
And they've got to stay in there, I think, for a certain amount of time too. So you can't let them fall out like as soon as the bell goes off. I think you can't puke
or poop.
Yeah, right away. It's a brilliant idea that none of us had ever heard before, E, and we just don't think you should just discard it.
Howard, the Walmart greeter, writing in, listening to poem number 852 and the discussion of the teardrop tattoo. Of course, this was on Jeremy Meeks, the hot felon model.
Sure.
That does not necessarily mean that someone was killed. Howard, the Walmart greeter, used to, in its former position, be a jailer, essentially.
Oh.
He was over at one of the main jails,
Yeah.
so he knows this shit. Does not mean that someone killed someone else. In the prison system, it actually means that you were used as a bitch and your manhood was killed. Just throwing that out there that Mr. Supermodel with the blue eyes may have been somebody's bitch in prison. Hi, Mrs. Fady. Go green.
Yeah, I know what he's saying, and if I came out of prison, I'd probably have multiple teardrops on my eyes, and I would totally agree.
So
That's
after
why.
getting fucked in the ass, do they hold you down and tattoo you with a teardrop? Like, what would make you do that then? Like, oh, I got fucked in the ass. I've been violated. This has been the ultimate awful thing. Now I'm going to go get a teardrop to commemorate that so everybody knows?
Yeah, someone's forcing that on you. But I don't know that that's true because he's a member of the Crips, right, in L.A.
I don't remember.
Or Northern California. He was straight out of Stockton guy. That's where that came from.
Straight out of Stockton.
The Stockton police, when talking about him, said that he was one of the most violent gang members there. So my thought is he would have a lot of friends on the inside. There's a lot of Crips in jail.
Okay, it's both meanings here. According to Google, the tattoo can have various meanings. It can signify that the wearer has killed someone or has spent time in prison, that the wearer was raped while incarcerated and tattooed with a teardrop below the eye by the offending party and his accomplices, or it can acknowledge the loss of a family or fellow gang member. Wow, that kind of runs the gamut.
Yeah, that's...
You think you want something more distinctly indicating I got ass raped.
Dude, and...
Verse, I'm a badass killer.
Yeah, and think about the distinction. Why would the guys that made you a bitch want to give you something that is confused with someone who is a murderer?
Could vaguely be interpreted that you're a badass when in fact you're a bitch.
Like if they tattooed little vagines on their cheeks or dick and ball set, like fine, you go, okay, oh, he's got the dick and ball. Oh, damn it, that means he was in jail and some guys really roughed him up.
Yeah, how can it mean so vastly different things?
Yeah.
Stupid gang members.
I mean, they give you a badass tattoo after taking your butt virginity? Like, dude, the teardrop is it's one of the most respected tats out there.
After,
I see
with
that.
The spider web.
Like thug life across the stomach, you know.
Mayhem.
Mayhem, sure. But, you know, if you got face tattoos, I'm looking for the teardrop. And if I see it, it's mad respect immediately.
Looking for teardrop and spider web.
Yeah, there you go.
Randy writes in, poison bushes and fireworks. Greetings, fellows. I'm glad to hear y'all had a nice vacation. Kudos to Joel for doing a great job on the best ofs. I normally don't listen to them. Come on, man. Why don't you normally listen to them? But since I drove up to Cleveland from South Carolina that week, they were a godsend. Hearing of Jay's poison ivy dilemma, I thought I would chime in with my horrible experience with a poison bush of some sort from the time I was out west with my wife for 3 months. While we were in the Redwoods in Marin County, California, I thought I would save $5 by gathering my own firewood.
Marin County? Did you just say Marin?
Oh, sorry, Mr. California.
No,
guy.
it's
Marin.
Marin County.
Okay.
You got what? I can't correct you. You correct me all the time.
Yeah, Marin County.
Marin County.
Sorry, Mr.
For Christ's Marin County.
Dude.
Marin County. Who doesn't know Marin County?
I don't know it, but for
Marin
him to get on
County?
you for correcting you is bullshit.
It's like if you're not from Michigan, you might say Westland.
Yeah, most people don't know about the fucking Supreme Court and that they hold.
Lake Orion.
I find one opportunity. The guy doesn't make mistakes, He makes
I'm
one
not- are
fucking
you
mistake.
listening? I'm
I
on your
can't take
side.
advantage of it.
Are you listening to me? I'm on
I
your
know
side.
you. I know.
I couldn't tell. I was
Mike, you
I
couldn't
was
tell?
rattled.
Okay,
No,
because I'm
you
like,
are
dude,
rattled.
I'm
I was rattled.
hardcore, like, on your side right now.
Marin County.
You're Mr. fucking
Marin.
Well, you missed an apostrophe. Makes you look retarded. You point shit like that out all the time.
No,
I thought I was doing you a solid.
You love to be a California snob.
I'm
you
not
do.
a California
You
snob.
do.
You're a
No.
snob of everything else.
Yeah, you're a snob of everything.
You love. Oh yeah. You know, last
This
time.
is calling the kettle black
last
I've ever seen one.
Marin County. It leapt on.
Marin.
It hurt my ears.
Last time I was in California, you know, me and my mom were in Malibu, and,
No, I was
and my
never
mom
in
said,
Malibu.
"Hey, like right over there, over the fence, that's Clint's property." Like,
Dude.
are you talking about Clint Eastwood? Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Malibu, really?
Whatever,
It's
wherever
8
you-
hours south, dude.
See,
What are you
fucking
talking
snob,
about?
Where does he live? I don't even know.
He's in Northern California.
Snob.
Malibu. My mom and I, for the record, have never been in Malibu together.
Okay. But you have been in.
Look at you. You can't take
Carmel?
one simple
I
check.
know,
I was
it's
just like,
crazy.
sir, excuse me, I think you pronounced that wrong. It's actually Marin County. And you're like, "Rah!"
So
and have to like
ridiculous.
start shooting venom and attacking everybody.
Just pointing out that you're a California snob.
That's so ridiculous.
Hold
Oh
on.
my fucking God.
Had that been like
You are
Maricopa
such an
County or
asshole.
something in Arizona, and I
What?
pronounced it wrong, I would have been
I'm
like,
getting
all right,
more
whatever.
mad.
would you like to state your case, E?
Yeah, you're a fucking asshole. That's my case, Your Honor.
How would you mispronounce Maricopa County, anyways?
No, dude.
Maricopa?
Here's the case. It's so easy. The case is not even. It writes itself. Mike's already said it. You sit here and say about holding. No one knows about the Supreme Court. No one knows about innocent. Everyone says innocent. He fucking. Are you
gonna try to correct me on scenario next?
I'm not correcting on anything. I'm correcting on here's a word that has a pronunciation.
Are you going to tell me
and Mike fixed it? And
are you
going to
tell me it's? I am wrong, obviously, but what a snob. I mean, I'm trying to read an email here.
Oh my God, you were. I think you're just fucking with us now.
I hope so.
Are you going to tell me that it's a garbage disposal now? It's not a garbage disposer?
Okay, so just take the opportunity to point out all of our faults instead of just going, wow, thank you for that tidbit. I screwed that up. It's Marin County.
Whoa.
Randy continues.
Christ.
We were in the Redwoods in Marin County, California. I thought I would save $5 by gathering my own firewood in the woods since we were surrounded by it and not buy it from the local shop.
Yeah.
The next day, we started to drive up to Seattle. Some might say Seattle. For some Grateful Dead shows. My ankle started itching. And my wife was worried I caught something. Of course, I waved it off, saying I'd be okay. By the time we got to Seattle, about 3 days later, my entire body was covered in various phases of blistering on almost every part of my body, including the stalk and the head of my panoose.
Oh my
wow,
God.
son of a bitch had an itchy panoose. Also, my legs were so swollen that I had to wear sweatpants and also a long shirt to the concert because I looked like a burn victim. I was absolutely miserable. Felt my whole body was taken over by an alien parasite. Dude, I feel your pain.
Yeah.
This shit pops out in places like the middle of my back. My eye, can you see my eye is sort of...
You're going to try to get sympathy from...
Dude, I know.
Yeah,
your eye's going crazy, I know. But this popped up like 2 days ago, a little bit on my eye.
Your hat, Bill, is kind of in the way.
See
the discolor? Did Gab punch you? What is that?
No, I'm fucking itching like crazy everywhere.
Maybe that's what this is. Maybe I caught it. Did our eyeballs touch this week?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
After those Dead shows, we hunkered down at the campground for 4 to 5 days while I took Benadryl all day long for itching, and my wife kept doing laundry every day because the tiny blisters would burst on clothing. His wounds were weeping.
Yeah,
and the
seeping actually.
And the sheets became contagious. The one thing that gave me temporary relief was to take a hot shower every 4 to 5 hours and get the histamine out of my skin. On another note, I must opine on your 10-minute grievance about fireworks. My judgment, old man.
Okay.
Calling me an old man.
Yeah.
I live in South Carolina, the land of the free, and we also have those types of fireworks. Since we are right across the border from Charlotte in North Carolina, we have at least 6 fireworks stores open all year nearby since the people from North Carolina come across and buy them. First moved down there on July 4th, 2009, and while we were unloading our moving van, there are at least 6 to 7 neighbors nearby lighting off hundreds of dollars worth of fireworks. It was quite welcoming to the neighborhood, and we loved it. I do admit that those assholes who light off fireworks very late at night, though, they are dicks. I just wanted to let you know that it's only going to get worse as the years go on for the Michigan fireworks. Cheers, Randy.
Yeah.
Thank you for the thoughtful email, Randy.
Very thoughtful. E, are you still house sitting, by the way?
No.
For the Kennedys?
No, I'm back.
What a shit week, dude, with all this rainy weather.
No, it was actually, the days I was doing it was okay.
Yeah.
I got to sit out there right
Do
on
they
the
have a
canal.
boat for you to go around on?
I don't know how to get the boat going, but they have a
Do
nice...
they keep it at the boat marina? Or...
That's right on their proper tie.
Yeah.
No, they have a nice little deck down by the canal, and I went down there.
Canal? Yeah.
Canal.
I didn't know if they had one of those properties where they just got the deck and the boat launch right there, or if they've got to park it at the boat marina.
Well, no, they have a boat, and it's on their... You got to lower it down on the thing.
Yeah, he doesn't really want to know anything about the Kennedys. He just the whole time I was reading that email, he was trying to think of words
to get to boat marina.
To get to marina.
It was either going to be the Army, Navy, Marines, that thing, and I was like, nah, that's too far. Because where am I going to go? If the world blows up, I hope my Marin buddy Cracchiola can help me out.
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? E was at the Kennedys.
Yeah, I
think they have a
water
boat
there. I could bring in Marina.
Marina. It's perfect. I didn't hear a word you just said 5 minutes previous. It was like boat marina. So anyway.
Save the rest for Monday.
Very good. Have a great weekend, everybody. We will have a full week of shows next week. So thank you for hanging with us today. We'll do it again next week. We'll hopefully have you along with us.
been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.